Howdy guys, and welcome back. Jed Scott here, and it's been a minute since I've filmed anything, and if you can tell why, I got a really cool scar. Hey guys, what's going on? Jed Scott here, and well, time to actually film a video. Been a minute since I filmed anything. You can see I got a haircut, looking a little more trimmed up, nice and pretty. So just want to do a little video for you today. Figure I'm going to do some casting for a shift knob today, and I'll walk you guys through how I do it. And I figured it'd just be pretty neat, show you what goes into it, and show you some of the new shifters I've been making for myself and whatnot for a collection, give away to friends and stuff. So let me show you. Alrighty guys, so I got some of my work here. We got turbulent turquoise, potent purple, powerful pink red failure of a color thing, and we got white. These are just some tests I did of a mold I did of an old T-handle shifter. Pretty neat. Those turned out pretty good. Dad wanted me to cast a purple one, and these are all translucent, whatnot. That looks actually really cool in the white. Guess I could have done that light too, but let's see what this turquoise is. Oh, I like that one a lot. But like the white, it's completely solid. And then we have these just regular round shifter knobs. This was you see, that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, a 4-part pour. Just an absolute pain in the butt to do, but god dang, did it turn out good. It's supposed to be red, white, and blue like an American flag, but it looks more like a Pepsi logo. And this one was really unique in the sense that you put it up, you just sit out like this, and it's just cool to look at. And you put it in the light, and it's cloudy and you can see through it partially. I call it the storm cloud. It's pretty neat. This one's just a standard blue pearl pigment. Pretty neat. This is a 2-part pour where it's a small shifter on the inside with a big clear shifter casting on top of it. So gives you that beautiful effect, all glittery and whatnot. And then here's just a small clear one that's got that's got air bubbles in it and stuff, but you can see the cool effects it does. That's just a small guy. But those are some of the things I've done in the past. And all the resin I use this Alumilite from Hobby Lobby, because man, it's the only thing I can get my hands on. It's cheap. I got an assortment of alcohol dyes, liquid dyes, powdered dyes, stuff like that. My silicone molds I get them off Wish, the round ones. The mold for these T-handles is a custom mold I did myself. These ones I do not sell because they have a logo on them. So I can't sell these, but I make them just because I like them. They're neat. I make a full collection of them and give them away to people. So let's get to work showing you how we make a shifter out of casting resin. So what I do is I'll mix out part A and B into 2 cheap measuring cups, and I'll typically let those sit out for a couple hours separated, let all the bubbles come to the top, and then I'll move them into a single big clear cup. And here's a big thing is you want to make sure when you buy cups, this is an actual brand Solo cup, make sure they can flex and they don't just crack. You don't want a hard cracking cup, because when you're pouring this, what you're going to do is put a sharp bend on that, and that'll allow you, when you pour, you can get a real finite pour. So there's that bad boy. So let's start mixing up some resin and figure out what color we're going to do. All right, time for a brief intermission, everybody. I know we've been rocking out, having a great time watching this. So now we got the two parts mixed, and you see the bubbles we got in there. Now would be the time. It's actually a pretty clear casting, regardless of the amount of bubbles in it. That's about kind of where I end off most of the time. Be the time now to pressure pot it or vacuum chamber it. I'm a poor white guy, and I don't mind the bubbles. I think they add a cool effect. Now we get to decide what color we want, what effect we want. So I'm gonna sit here, think about it. By the way, Journey is playing on my radio. So if you want to jam out with me, we are jamming to Journey. So that's the proper songs playing in the background and not the copyright free stuff. So you want the full effect of being here hanging out with me at my desk. By the way, this is a resin desk. Pretty neat. So I'm gonna sit here, debate on what color to make this baby. If you guys got any recommendations, hold them, because by the time this video's out, I will have already made it and it'll be too late. So I'm gonna think about it and I'll be back in a minute. All right, so I decided we're gonna go for something just crazy wild on this one. I don't care if it works or not. We have some red metal flake here, basically just red glitter, in case we need it. This is a big maybe, if we think we need it. This is a liquid black pearl pigment dye from Wish. I chose the black pearl because I think we're going to give that a shot. We have our actual Alumilite red transparent dye. If you can, I would highly recommend find a color you really enjoy and spend it on the actual casting craft dyes, instead of like, this is from Wish. It's just basically food coloring. This stuff isn't super good at UV resistance and all that stuff, but it works. It's just not the best. This is stuff you want, but it's kind of expensive. So we're gonna mix these in here and see what color we make, and hopefully it looks neat and we don't waste a bunch of resin. So stay tuned, guys. Alright, so we got half and half here. We did this, that way the resin doesn't overheat. We can pour one half, let the other half sit out, get some of the more bubbles out. Plus, like this, when the resin's in this state, you want to get as many bubbles out of as possible for the nicest casting possible. So if I left all the resin in one container, how tall that is, you see how tall that is, you know, that would be up to about there. That's a lot of space for those bubbles to travel all the way up, and this resin is exothermic and it's already getting warm. So there's so much resin in here that when it gets hot and cured, when there's more resin, it gets hotter and hotter and it starts to expand, and potentially when you mix a lot of resin, it can explode almost, basically ruin an entire casting. So there's our color. I love it. It's pretty beautiful. If I did it again, probably leave some of the black pearl out. That was a little too much, but all right, let's freaking pour this baby. All right, guys, well, welcome back. It's the next morning, and that baby is not fully cured. Well, it actually might be, but that's ready to demold. And I also cast a special piece here. This will get demolded tonight. You'll be able to see what that is too. But let's try and get this baby out of the mold. Got some cleanup to do. Well, hey guys, welcome back. It is, I think, 3 days later, maybe 2 days later since the last filming, and well, we got the shifter cast, and as you saw, we demolded it. Had some flashing that started happening, which I haven't had that issue so far recently with this mold I made, but it started giving me flashing, and I think that's just because I need to clean the mold out pretty good. But just want to give you a recap what this video is all about. So check these babies out. They are my jewels. This thing looks a lot redder on camera than it really is. This thing came out way more pink than what it really is. I'm going to recast one, but with more red dye in it. But I want to show you. So here's how this one turned out. Not a fan of the black pearl in here. It kind of muddies it up for me. I love the flake and I love the red. I love it up in the light. But me personally, it just makes it look dull. You know, the color of it. It's just as shiny as one of these. Or like this one. But don't know why this one come out looking the way it does. It just got so much metallic in there from the black pearl. I mean, it's beautiful. And see, I started working on this as the top of the mold, so sanding that out, and I'm gonna keep sanding that and then polish that out. But good friend of mine, who were talking last night, and he decided, you know what, these things are really cool. And he's a stock kind of guy, doesn't get real hot roddy most of the time. He's like, you know what, I want one of those. So I was like, I'll do one for you. We started talking, you know, colors and stuff, and the red one and the teal one were my favorites. This is my new favorite. Are you guys ready? Oh, look, you can see it. Oh God, you can't see it. Never mind. I was gonna do a dramatic reveal, but check that one out. This one not so bad as the flashing, but when I pulled it out, big flashing line there, and here it's the sides of the mold. But this one, drill, tap it, put a thread insert in there so you can actually use it. But this one is a really nice deep blue with silver flake and blue flake in it, which I think really makes it pop. Really, I am a huge fan of this one. I told him I think I'm gonna keep this one and make him another one because that one looks really cool. I love the fact that you put those three. I love the translucent ones more than anything else. So there they are, guys. That's how you can cast your own. So, you know, there's our mold. Works pretty good. We're going to clean that baby out, actually, before we do another one. But like I was showing you, know, you can cast just regular round shifters. Like this is probably my favorite round one I've ever done. This was a lot of work, this one. And they don't need to be completely bubble free for them to be super cool. So sometimes you make the bubbles work for you. But you know, casting your own resin, casting your own shift knobs, always looks cool. And by the way, before we end this, for anybody who's curious what was underneath this ugly looking scab thing, this is liquid latex, and this is for Jezebel, my 70 Charger. Pull that off, and you got a texture. And I made a mold of a 70 or a 69 and 70 Charger dash to replicate the grain, so that way I can repair dashes and make delete plates. So that was a successful test. It's obviously way too thick, kind of jagged from the hot glue, but we can cut that out and make delete plates, patches for dashes. So we successfully replicated that texturing 100%. So there it is, guys. I just want to thank, before we end this, I just want to, you know, thank everybody for watching. You know, obviously still healing up. Well, technically I'm healed, but we got one more big surgery to do in January, so taking it easy, doing everything. I appreciate everybody's love and support. I mean, it's very, very humbling and cool to see all the love and support pouring out of you guys. You're amazing. Couldn't ask for a better group of people. But I'm still going. I'm feeling good. You know, we're going to get this thing beat. So just going to keep working away, and I figured if I can't go out there and work on Jezebel, I'm going to make pretty things. So anybody's got any interest in one of these, you can email me, chargerjezebel70@yahoo.com. The email flash like here or wherever I decide to put it. So anyways, I appreciate you guys watching. I'm going to go sit out in the other room, watch some football with Dad, even though I don't like football, but oh well. So stay tuned for more, guys, and hope you enjoyed. Talk to you later. Bye.